From the creators of Relevant Magazine, this is the Relevant Podcast.
It's Friday, January 18, 2019, and this is the Relevant Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and here with me in our Orlando studios, Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello!
Live and in the person.
So jealous.
Over there on the ones and twos, our illustrious engineer, my brother, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
On the Skype line from Nashville, Tennessee, Tyler Huckabee.
Hey, everybody.
And just down the road, where the internet finally works.
20 minutes farther away than she was 20 minutes ago.
Author, speaker, podcaster, cowgirl extraordinaire, Annie F. Downs.
Good morning, gents. What a day.
We have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, Francis Chan joins us.
Yeah.
We got him out of hiding.
I know. This was really cool.
He's elusive.
He is elusive.
He's like a Sasquatch.
Well, I found out where he was, and we
It's
talked about it
creepy.
a lot. He was in the Holy Land. He was in the Holy Land. He just said this, like after kind of Numa, there's been like this, there's not a void, but there isn't like these standout video teaching series. He's releasing one 8-part series on the Book of Mark,
Right.
filmed live in the Holy Land. He literally does one of the teachings while standing in the Jordan River. I got to watch a bunch of this the other day. And they were like, you want to talk to Francis about it? Let me check it out. Let me vet this.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to talk. It is incredible.
Awesome.
You're going to hear about it later.
That's
I like
coming
the
up
idea
later.
of sending a relevant roving reporter to find like the general in the movie who has to pull the grizzled old sharpshooter out for one last mission. You show this little hut in the Holy Land. And he's like,
I mean,
I don't do that anymore.
Francis Chan's wily. I mean, like he'll
Yeah.
get all
He is.
successful, have a big ministry, and then he goes, nah, and he'll like
Yeah,
vanish.
that's right.
And he'll vanish for like a year.
But what you guys are describing is basically the plot of Rambo 4, when missionaries are captured in like Cambodia. And that is where...
You know way
Wait,
too
that
much about
happens
the
in
Rambo
Rambo?
catalog.
Listen. This is how someone goes to find Rambo, who is a professional cobra hunter at this point.
Yeah.
That is literally, he's lived in a shack and he hunts cobras professionally, and he has to decide whether he takes the mission to
Is
save
Rambo
the
the
missionaries.
boxing movies? I'm sorry.
Oh,
No, that's
Annie.
Rocky.
thinking of-
Oh, my
That's
Annie.
Rocky.
Rocky.
Annie,
Sorry.
hey, can we mute her as a penalty for 35
This isn't hockey.
seconds?
There's not
There
a
are no
penalty box.
penalties
You
for
don't
not
like
growing up
make
with
her
brothers. No penalties for not growing up with brothers.
Most of
Annie.
the missionary hostage takers are killed with Rambo's bare hands, and the movie is a hard R on the grounds of graphic violence.
A good
But,
1980s hard R.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
the hardest R.
Hey, I gotta apologize to you guys.
Hey, you look a little under the
We're
weather.
recording
Starting with
in the
apologies.
morning, and I'm very tired, and I can't shake it. I've had all the caffeine. I've had the breakfast. I can't shake it.
Let's
I've got
hear it.
like the clouds behind
So
my
not
eyes.
sick. You just sleepy.
No, I'm just tired.
Up late?
Out of it.
Well, I was watching, on DVR, The Bachelor and the Vanderpump Rules.
Okay.
I was up late.
Wow, this
But-
is user error.
But then,
Right. This is a user error situation.
but it's boring. It's a second screen situation for me
Yeah.
when I do those.
Yeah.
And I didn't have my laptop out, so I didn't.
Sure.
So I was just fiddling around on my phone. Ended up getting into it with an internet troll late at night, and
I read all of that,
took a
Cameron.
little time.
Was this
Okay.
on Twitter?
Why did you do that?
Okay,
Why
hold
did
on,
you
hold on.
engage?
But before we go into it, because I actually
saw it?
I
Did
saw
you
it
see
too.
it? Okay.
And
Yes, I read all of it.
Okay, first of all, I haven't reread it. It was a late night situation for me, and I
That's
woke
what I
up to a
thought.
whole lot of notifications.
So I think we all might have a brief take on this. We don't need to belabor it, but I
I
would
didn't
like
see
you
it.
to.
I'm on pins and needles.
So-
Like,
so-
I don't know what
it's on
happened.
my Instagram story, so it'll
but if you're
vanish.
listening to this, it's gone by now. So Cameron, why don't you just give us a brief synopsis?
Well,
of
I
how it started.
don't read the relevant comments. We talk
Yeah.
about this famously.
Yeah.
You got to
Good
just ignorance is
Good idea.
bliss, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, somebody apparently commented on one of Relevant's posts addressing me by name, and a person saw that and tagged me and said to the guy, "You're a coward. Why don't you actually tag him?
Yeah.
If you're going to talk about him."
Yeah.
So you
So
got
then
tagged in. Somebody
Right, he got tagged in
they've shown the bat signal on the sky.
Then I got the notification. And it's late
Like
at night.
Rambo.
The Bachelor's getting a little boring. I see my name pop up. I check it out.
Yeah.
Okay, first mistake. That was the first mistake.
Huge.
Also, you're implying that happened at 8 p.m. last night when The Bachelor was on, and it was not.
I was DVRing it. No. I was late.
Yeah. You were late at night. You should know
This is a 1
better.
a.m. This is a 1 a.m. Bachelor viewing. Got to catch up.
Yeah,
fast forward
this is
through
the
the
problem.
commercials. You know what I'm saying? And apparently, you guys. Thanks a lot for first of all. You guys posted the very controversial Gillette commercial about being a dad. Like
so
having his
surprised it's
son not be a
controversial.
bully.
Okay,
yeah.
but before, because I want to get you into the nitty gritty of the exchange.
Oh, yeah, we need
But
to
for
go back
people,
and-
But for people who haven't seen the ad, that
gets
is
nitty.
supposedly very controversial. Here's what's controversial about it. Gillette is making a statement that for far too long, men have gotten away with sexual harassment, with there's
Bullying.
There's literally a clip of two kids like fighting and a dad pulling them off saying, this isn't how we solve our problems.
And it's saying we need to be better men
Yeah.
and not toxic masculinity.
And for some reason, people found this message controversial. For some reason, back in my day, we bullied the nerds. Real men would just walk down the street, groping everyone. We would give wedgies to whoever we please because we're men. It's like, okay, this is controversial. The conversation around what is appropriate and inappropriate conduct has gotten so controversial that an advertisement for razors that is persuading their customers who for this particular shaving product are men to live lives of integrity and not to sexually assault people and not to bully other people physically. In 2019, that is now a controversial message.
Tyler, this guy basically was saying to me that my father is the right example, how he supports.
You should say correct with the left and right that's
Oh,
coming
he made
in your
it. So
conversation.
he made it personal. He said that your
He
dad
said,
is
Cameron,
like,
he said literally, like, you're a disappointment. Your dad, paved the right path. He supports Trump. You have scotch taped the New York Times onto the cross. You leftist
what does
liberal.
that mean? I didn't understand why he kept saying that.
You're a
it's
disappointment.
literally true. That's something that Cameron has in his new house. It's not a metaphor. It's just
The guy has been in
it's
your
a decorative
house, Cameron.
piece. It doesn't.
I
It's
hate
not a
this
statement.
more than I thought I would.
It's a high concept art piece.
It's over the master
I
bed.
don't wanna-
Banksy. It's very. I thought it was cool.
I don't want to make this personal, but I will say that to be fair to this guy's point, the first time I met your dad, he shook my hand and gave me a wedgie. So I didn't want to make it personal.
Yeah, put you in your place.
No, but for some reason he kept saying like leftist and liberal, and it's like when did not punching another kid become a political issue? Like the root of the word political it comes from the same root as policy, right? The ideas of, hey, let's treat people with respect and dignity and not fall
as
into
a policy, as a society.
That's not political. Just because one political party happens to have elected someone who brags about sexual assault, that doesn't make it a political issue. I know plenty of very thoughtful, very intelligent, very caring people who consider themselves politically conservative that would have no objection to the message of this commercial. If anyone is projecting any sort of political message on it, that should be terrifying to that person because they have betrayed their own political ideology in favor of something disgusting and horrible. And it says more about them and who they may have voted for than it does say anything about a razor company.
But apparently I'm a disappointment because you guys posted this leftist shrill on the internet.
Gillette.
And now
well-known progressive rabble-rouser.
So
Gillette razors.
this guy was so offended by our leftist propaganda of posting the Gillette commercial that he went in deep on me and my dad and my relationship with my dad. And I'm like, you don't know me. You don't know my
I didn't
dad.
like that part.
It was weird.
But also, he's the kind of guy who is fighting on the internet at 1 a.m., which unfortunately you were too last night. But the kind of guy who's fighting on the internet at 1
it's
a.m.
because that's honestly because Bachelor was wasn't that good last night. I just got bored.
Here's the thing. I rewatched the commercial right before we recorded. So here's the thing. I wanted to actually play audio from this, and in case you missed it, but I feel like in order for it to translate, you have to see the imagery.
It's a visual. It's a visual.
The juxtaposition between this like really obnoxious behavior that they're showing on screen with the voiceover is kind of how you bring the message home. So you can go to relevantmagazine.com and watch it. You can Google it. You can find it anywhere and watch it. But
just don't comment on it, or if you comment on it, don't tag me, please.
Yeah, but here's the thing: I watched it again after reading Cameron's story. It's like, okay, I'm going to watch it with the outrage filter on. Like, I'm going to try to see like
the world through this guy's eyes.
Yeah,
right.
And I'm going to try to identify
like get so offended watching it, Jesse, that you want to publicly talk about my relationship with my father.
And it was baffling. It was baffling. There were like what on...
Why are we giving this guy so much airtime, by the way?
We didn't say his name.
Yeah.
Because I think we started with Cameron's time.
I'm tired.
I think one thing that I was like struck by was when I was little, I don't know who's a disappointment to whose father, but when I was little, it was very common. I don't want to get into that, but when I was little, it was very common growing up in the conservative circles that I did to talk about how men these days need to toughen up. They need to be better examples. They need to be positive role models for the young generation. This was a pretty common conservative critique of masculinity. But then as soon as it became, as it seems like the political display of this has sort of switched, and now there's this pushback against the idea that anytime somebody says men should be better than they are, they're like, whoa, men should be better people. We don't touch those ones. That doesn't sound right at all. What kind of agenda are you trying to put? It's like, this is a very straightforward, this is older than Adam, man. This is a very simple, very easy message to swallow. And I think that, Jesse, you said it well. If you see a political message there, that says a lot more about you than it does about the message itself. I thought it was a great ad. Jesse and I were looking for slices yesterday,
Piers
and that
Morgan
popped up.
Pierce Morgan's the one who kind of started making it a political thing, and everyone jumped on, right?
That doesn't
is
surprise
his
me.
actual job, is to fill hours with normal things that he makes political.
Well,
wasn't he first? I mean, I feel like he's the first person I saw make a thing of it.
He may have been one of the first prominent, but immediately, anytime someone suggests that, there might be, pervasive social problems that need to be addressed, and those problems might fall on gender lines. People, they're even non-prominent people, for some reason, the irony is those are the people who are always like, oh, this is, you snowflakes get triggered by everything. It's like, who's the snowflake getting triggered by a razor commercial? It's not, it's not. Annie, I'm sure you got an opportunity to see the ad. I want to know what your opinion on the commercial was.
I thought it was beautiful. I watched it this morning. Yeah. I mean, I'm totally for what it is saying and the way it is. The political stuff here, that, me, I'm not going to be the first one who's going to care about all that. But I do care about a commercial that teaches men that it can be manly to be tender, and it can be manly to talk from the heart and act from the heart. And that's what that commercial did. As a female watching it, that was my biggest takeaway, was like, oh, they are saying like it's super masculine to protect other people, not to torture other people. And I liked it for that reason. Okay,
Annie, we try to stay a little apolitical on this podcast. Like, we got a lot of it. I would appreciate if you would kind of tap the brakes on your agenda here. Save it for your podcast, Annie.
All that. I'm sorry to all the listeners. I'm sorry about all that. I'm just tired a little bit.
Well, that is why you're tired, Cameron, is because you should not be fighting with a stranger
100%.
On the internet at 1 a.m.
100%. And I mean, Jesse's down. We had a big weekend. That's the other reason why I'm tired.
You really did.
This weekend, there were back-to-back Orlando Magic games. Mm-hmm. They'd been on the road for like 2 weeks. They did terrible on this road trip. Yeah. And then Saturday, we played the Boston Celtics. Sunday, we played the Houston Rockets. Won both of those games.
Yeah, that's great.
Thanks to Jesse. He's the good luck charm.
He's absolutely
last time I was here, we beat the
charm.
Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, I mean, you are coming down every time there's something.
I know. I mean, it's the energy they can feel.
Hey, people think, there's no, I don't believe in luck, but I am incredibly superstitious when it comes to basketball. I moved my seat over. I used to sit on the right seat. Now I sit on the left seat. They're doing better.
Yeah.
I don't wear a certain jacket that I wore during some bad losses.
Yeah.
Now you keep showing up. We win games we shouldn't win. You know what I'm saying? And
Did we win the night we were all there? No.
Oh no, that was
But I-
an egregious loss.
But
Horrible
But
loss.
the difference was I was so far away from the court.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Comparatively.
Yeah, we were so far away from the
No,
court.
I'm saying we had
rows back,
excellent seats.
Jesse.
We had excellent
You're
seats.
on the ninth row.
Yeah, but I'm saying
They can't hear you
comparatively,
back there.
the energy,
Yeah,
the
totally different.
The toxic masculine mojo I project onto
Right.
the court.
Sure. Your
It hits
Gillette
like the third
razorness,
row.
if you will.
Jesse, is there like an angels in the infield situation here where you, when you show up, Christopher Lloyd and his army of skilled sports angels
Invisibly.
also can
Yeah.
start doing invisible basketball tricks?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
if listeners remember, a year ago we did the Relevant Sports podcast,
Yep.
and Jesse, you were on it, and your co-host was Steve Carter.
Yeah.
At the
I
time,
love Steve Carter.
a pastor at Willow Creek at the
Yeah.
time, and Steve was down on Sunday and
Yes,
went
he
with us
was.
to the game. So I felt like I was living the Relevant Sports podcast with
yeah.
these guys
For
sitting on
the
my sides.
insightful commentary.
Annie, we got into trouble though. I mean, it was such a
I am
big
dying
game.
to hear this story.
It was such
For
a
the
big game.
listener, theater of the mind is my friends won't tell me stories in real life because they will only tell me on the Relevant podcast.
Well,
Go.
so I don't like James Harden. He doesn't like me. I mean, that's just the bottom line. That's okay.
I'm
so,
sorry. He plays for the other team?
Yeah, the Houston Rockets. He has a
Okay,
big
thank you.
beard,
Yeah,
and he's
fear the
been on a
beard.
streak.
Oh, yeah.
He's on an unprecedented NBA record streak right now of averaging more than 40 points a game over the last almost 20 games.
Tell
It's
him how much he scored against the Magic.
38. Okay. But he's still
Nice.
averaging over 40, but still. But here's the deal. He was 1 of 17 from 3, and I rode him. Okay, first of all. 2, Austin Rivers is on.
Like, what kind of stuff were you yelling, though, Cameron?
It's not
Let's-
safe for
you know
little
what?
ears. I don't cross.
I'd be more comfortable
No,
if we
no,
just
no,
didn't
no.
get into
Yeah.
what we were saying to the players specifically, because I'll just say this. If I can just say,
Yes.
they were very un-Gillette. They were the type of things. They were the
You were the
type of
bullies.
things that the bad men were yelling in the Gillette commercial.
So then there's a player, Austin Rivers, who used to play for the LA Clippers. I was writing him. He turned around and gave it back to me. And then all of a sudden,
He
I
did? He
say,
yelled
I say,
back at you?
I say to Jesse, "See, the mark reveals itself. You
Yeah,
don't come in
exactly.
premeditated." And so the rest of the game, it's on Austin Rivers, and Steve
gosh.
Carter went at halftime and went and bought like Magic warm-up gear and old school
yeah.
shorts, gym shorts, and he comes out like,
can you talk me through that a little bit? He walked away from you in normal clothes.
Yeah,
And he
Came
came
back.
back
Totally
fully
geared
head
out.
to foot.
Basically, in
he went and
uniform.
changed
Where were his clothes?
in the bag that he bought.
Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh. Steve
And
Carter.
so
what
he's
a hero.
hilarious. So it was crazy. And like in the fourth
Dedication.
quarter, this is only the second time this happened to me. Fourth quarter, security guard comes over to me and Steve. Guys, you got to keep it down. You got to
At a
calm down a little
basketball
bit.
game.
You got to calm down a little
No.
bit. And I'm like, and
That's
then
a
I was like,
betrayal.
Jose, and I'm like, Jose, what? I'm like, I know him. And he like pointed to his earpiece. He's like, just chill a little bit.
Did you
Like
say
somebody called it
Did
in.
you say you and your liberal father?
Someone called you. So do you think the other team did?
No, I don't know. I don't know. We calmed down. I mean, we did. I was like, it's almost like it's like when your favorite teacher that you're super cool with, whatever, kind of goes like you get in trouble.
Yeah.
By
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
by
yeah.
the
We had a
teacher.
thing. I thought we had a
It's like,
thing.
I thought we had a thing. No,
I tell you who it was that said something. Some clean shaven liberal from Hollywood that happened to be in that night.
we missed you, Annie. Steve Carter was a blast, and it was fun. We missed you.
I just think the world of him, and y'all were having so much fun on Insta Story
We
that
were
it
having
was
so much fun.
all I could do not to
Too much
drive
fun.
myself to Orlando.
too much fun. I'm still tired.
Yeah,
Because of
Yeah,
left it all
clearly
on the court.
that
I
plus
left
your
it all on the
midnight
court.
fighting just not gonna cut it, buddy.
Yeah, it's not
That's
gonna
all. That is a busy weekend. I'm glad you made it into the office. I probably would have taken a sick day after all that.
I went strolling around town, throwing Gillette razors in the garbage, and just going around town bullying for a while, just finding people to pick on, just to kind of recoup my masculine energy. And wow, what a day! What a day!
All right, we'll move the show along. It is time for our weekly look back at what happened in culture and entertainment. It's time for
In case you missed it.
Hey, in case you missed it, this week, Doctor Strange director, Scott Derrickson went online and pleaded with his fellow Christians to live more according to Jesus' teachings. The filmmaker has also directed like Sinister, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, and others. He went to Twitter to explain his problems with modern Christianity this week. He said, American Christians have long loved their pop culture heroes. I have frustrated attempts to make me one. because of this singular heartfelt conviction. In America, we Christians are not the solution. We are the core problem. When asked to elaborate by our very own Tyler Huckabee via Twitter, Scott explained the ways that Christians could change the conversation for the better. He said, 1, reject Christian nationalism. It's a straight up heresy. 2, read the Gospels. Jesus was about aiding the poor, the judged, the sick, and the socially oppressed. 3, reckon with fear and racism. They are deceptively deep roots in the American faith. Along with challenging ideas about nationalism and faith on Twitter, Scott is currently at work on the Doctor Strange sequel, by the way.
Those words sound like a man that shaves his chest with a Gillette razor every day.
He has a little mustache, so I don't know where he's getting these ideas from, but I don't trust him. I don't get it.
Huck, how often do you respond to someone like that and they respond back to you?
Very rarely. I've interacted with Scott Derrickson a few times. I think he follows me, so I think we have like a rapport. I don't know about a rapport, but he's responded to me enough times. I think he's aware of like the magazine. He's been in the magazine before.
He was been in the magazine a couple
I
times.
just think it was great that he took time to like give you a legitimate, like thoughtful answer versus like not responding or blowing you off. I just think that's kind of cool.
I think he did. I think it led to something that we've joked about this Gillette ad, but I do appreciate something that in addition to pointing out something that's wrong, and I think there's plenty wrong with masculinity and with the American expression of Christianity, that you also need to point to, well, what's then the prognosis? Like, what does it look like to be better than where we're at? And I think deconstruction is important and reconstruction is also important. And pushing beyond just that deconstruction to reconstruction is a good exercise for us all to do. So I'm glad that he was willing to do that.
Because to me as well, and y'all see this in your friends too, I have friends who talk about deconstructing their faith, and I'm all fine with that if you will do the work of reconstruction. If you're just deconstructing to say that or to like walk away, don't waste my ear time. But if you're talking about your deconstruction with the goal of reconstructing, I got so much respect for that.
People get stuck in deconstruction because it's fun. It feels good to kind of tear down institutions once you realize the problems with them, and it can lead to a feeling of superiority. I think that becomes very intoxicating.
Yeah.
And it's very hard then to try to build something newer and better out of it because it's scary and you don't necessarily know what to hold on to and what needs to be rebuilt. And it takes a lot of study. It takes a lot of trust in the Holy Spirit. It takes a lot of trust. It takes finding new and better mentors than the ones you were raised with, maybe. But on the other side of it is a much happier, more fulfilled intellectual and spiritual life. So I hope that we can all be responsible. And I hope that, and I think that something that Relevance tried to be good at, and Cameron, you push us to do it a lot, is don't just find the things that are wrong, like find good signs out there, find the things that are positive, things pushing the conversation forward in a good direction.
I'm a glass half full person, and it's easy there's two ways to enact change. You can either just sit there and point out everything that's wrong, or you can almost like turn your back to it and like cast a better vision for how things could be and inspire people to want that instead. And like they will then, when I see what's possible and then I look at how things are, I'm not content with how things are. I want to aspire to that better reality. Or you can just sit there and just criticize. You know, and like that to me, that's pointless. Let's where are we going? Yeah. You know, like Annie's point.
I just don't get why Scott Derrickson, this world famous Hollywood director, engaged with Tyler in thoughtful dialogue, and he said nothing to all my comments about his cowardly relationship with Dr. Strange.
I just love watching your brain spin.
Did you point out to him how much of a disappointment he is to his father?
In various ways.
It works.
Explicit ways. Yeah.
It'll rile somebody up at 1 o'clock in the morning. It'll do the work.
Yeah. Here's the secret.
Hey, guess
Jesse.
what, Scott? Your dad, just like the rest of the MCU's fan, felt like Doctor Strange was about 25 minutes too long. Learn to wrap it up, Scott. You coward! You coward!
Oh my gosh. Hey, in case you missed it, I mean, there's been a lot of controversy about the comedy The Upside with Kevin Hart and Bryan Cranston because Bryan Cranston was cast as a quadriplegic man in a wheelchair. Yeah. And a lot of people have an issue with that. Well, critics of the casting argue that the role should have been played by an actor with disabilities. Well, This week, Trevor Noah weighed in on it and had some really good insights about this controversy. Bryan Cranston hasn't apologized for playing the role. He told the Associated Press, "We live in the world of criticism. If we're willing to get up and try something, we have to also be willing to take criticism. We're very aware of the need to expand the opportunities for people with disabilities." So he's acknowledging the criticism. Well, the Daily Show host, Trevor Noah, offered some thoughtful commentary about the topic, saying that he changed his mind about the issue after hearing the thoughts of an actor who is currently in a wheelchair. Here's a clip.
I understand what an actor is. I too am an actor. He said, but I'm an actor in a wheelchair. And I never see parts that are leading roles for a person in a wheelchair. And so the one time I see a role where there's a person in a wheelchair, I think, wow, this could be it. This could be the moment where I have all of the tools necessary to play this part. Do I get a shot at playing it? And he was like, because when you think of it on the flip side, they never call people with wheelchairs in to play able-bodied people, and they'll get able-bodied people to play people in wheelchairs. And I was like, snap, I never thought of it like that.
The one thing I appreciate about Trevor Noah, especially, and he's released a series of these are kind of taken between segments, you know? It's him just kind of talking
like
frankly
doing
with the
commercials
audience.
or something?
Yeah. These aren't a scripted part of the show, but they regularly release them. That his willingness to admit that David
Letterman used to do this.
Yeah.
He would go, who's from Iowa?
Yeah.
And he would just kind of banter. But Trevor Noah has given some thoughtful insight.
And more times than not with these, it's him saying, you know what? The opinion I had about this was wrong. Someone changed my mind in a thoughtful, constructive way. I was wrong. My opinion changed, and here's the thoughtful piece of commentary that actually changed my mind.
Hey, in case you missed it this week, Chris Pratt had some news. I mean, you know,
I love this. I love it so much.
Talking about it's not the thing. Yeah, he's engaged. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's not it, Jesse.
No. Hey, this is the relevant beat. We go deeper than that.
Yeah, exactly.
We went to his Instagram story, not the big Instagram post about the engagement. No. We're watching his stories.
That's right.
We're finger on the pulse.
We hired someone only to follow Chris Pratt's stories, and
Chris Pratt.
It's 43% of our web traffic.
For free, Jesse. Y'all should have just called me.
This week on Instagram, he told followers that he was on day 3 of the Daniel fast. And he said, check it out. It's a 21 days of prayer and fasting. So it got everybody asking, what in the world does the Daniel fast? And this was now 43% of our web traffic this week.
It was.
Really?
It was big.
That's awesome.
So the rules for the fast come directly from the book of Daniel in the Old Testament. And in case you didn't know, after being selected to serve in Nebuchadnezzar's palace, Daniel refused to defile himself with the king's food and wine. Instead, he said, please test your servants for 10 days. Give us nothing but vegetables to eat and water to drink. Then compare our appearance with that of the young men who eat the royal food, and treat your servants in accordance with what you see. The Bible says at the end of the 10 days, they looked healthier and better nourished than any of the young men who ate the royal food. So then later, during a time of grieving, Daniel undertakes the diet for 21 straight days, hence the diet's length. Chris Pratt also got engaged to Catherine Schwarzenegger this week. So
that's the part I'm here for. I'll talk about the Daniel fast, but the ring is beautiful. They look so happy. I think it's so cute.
His caption when he announced the engagement, he said that he's proud to live boldly in faith with you. Boldly in faith.
Yeah. You gotta love Pratt. He's a constant source of
Although, I don't know,
material
Scott
for us.
Derrickson was talking about how Christians loved their celebrity thing, and that's a problem.
Well, no, he said it's a problem for him.
Oh,
he didn't say, he said they love their pop culture heroes, and I frustratingly don't take that mantle. Where I feel like
he said that he has frustrated attempts to be tagged that.
Yeah.
There are Christians going, hey, we got a Christian filmmaker.
Yeah.
And he's trying to
he's
thwart
too
that.
uncomfortable with it. Yeah.
It's fine with being profiled in Relevant Magazine.
Yeah.
It's frustrating too. Don't know how that he's.
He did do a really
overtime.
He did do a really great, and he opened up a lot about faith in that.
Yeah,
that
he was very open about it.
How about this? We're going to reshare that on the site this week for people listening.
Oh, good idea, buddy.
I the next item on, in case you missed it, is about that horrible clip of the pastor remixing God's plan, and I'm not going to acknowledge it because it's so embarrassing.
We're not even going to play a clip?
No, not even doing it.
Not even gonna play a clip.
We're not doing it. White people are too embarrassing. Like, no.
That's why we have to. This is a warning shot.
Yeah, this is
It's a
calling
warning
out.
shot. That's good,
This is
Jeff.
justice.
It is
This is justice. Deconstruction is an important part of the process.
We have to
Drake,
acknowledge
Drake,
what is
I want
wrong.
you to
Turn
know.
our backs to what's wrong and let's point to what's good. Like, this is not worth shining the
We
spotlight
got to
on.
destroy the old wineskins before we can fill them with new. It's important. This is there's a system. There's a system here.
I agree.
If we
Let's
don't
go.
play it, it is posted on relevantmagazine.com.
I
Jesse,
don't
Jesse,
know.
you dug this up and you sent it to me.
It was too.
It's this is the difference in our humor. You love the Scott's Tots episode of The Office.
this is-
You love the awkward, uncomfortable. I fast forward or mute it.
No,
I cannot
and
handle
it. Does
it.
not get any more out of. Listen. As someone who part of their job is to watch church bloopers regularly. And we played one the other day. That was more slapstick of a pastor attempting to jump over a very large hurdle off a mini
Because
trampoline.
all
And
things
they
in
were
Christ.
self-aware too. Like they knew that what they were doing when they did it wrong. They played it off really well.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? They recovered.
But as someone who professionally aware of church blooper videos, this is the Scott's Tots of
Yes.
church bloopers.
Yes, Jesse. Yes.
Fine. So if you didn't
Oh
see
my
the clip, it's on
gosh.
our website. This guy, we don't know why he's doing it. He's some sort of like performer / comedian at a big Baptist megachurch.
comedian?
I don't know. He has a hat on backwards and he's trying to
don't
do.
know.
He's trying to do a rap, and
I
he's
think
trying to
he's
show
a
that.
pastor.
Yeah,
I
I
think
thought-
he's the
I thought it was
church
a
pastor.
pastor.
He-
He appeared very
and he's trying to show
pastoral.
that he's
He's the
down with
spiritual leader.
the young people or something.
Yeah.
And this is what happened.
Goes. That is why I say, Drake, I want you to know Jesus Christ saved my soul. He baptized me with the Holy Ghost. That is why I say, that is why I say.
It's so bad.
See, at this
It goes
point,
to another
You
level
gotta,
here.
he grabs his knee and does this weird like
Nice.
thing.
Here we go.
This is the best part.
God's plan.
I don't think the
talking
dude's
about
ever heard
God's
this
plan.
song before.
You gotta have God's plan. Oh. Jesus wants you to have God's plan.
There's also someone doing sign language.
Jesse, I'm so glad you
Thankfully, the
found
sign
this.
language interpreter was there for this too, so that no one could be spared.
you know,
Even
that-
if you don't have the ability to hear, it would hurt you.
The thing that was so painful is that, you know, he was like, when he was rehearsing it, he was like doing like, oh, I'm just going to spontaneously do this. The drummer's going to, and everybody will go crazy. And then they'll think it's over. And then the real song will drop and they'll go bananas, right? You know, that's what he was thinking. But it was
Right.
just this weird, awkward lag and like,
Yeah.
God's plan. Jesus wants you to have God's plan.
I'm
What does that
curious-
even mean?
What was he?
It's called freestyle. He's just going with it. He's just feeling the, feeling the beat.
Freestyle,
Just
Cameron.
feeling the rhythm. Just let the flow
I
take
feel like
you.
that was probably the opening to his message.
That is literally the Scott's Tots of Baptist church services right there.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's like the clip we played years ago of the pastor yelling at the kid in the sound booth. Like you just wanna crawl under the pew and not be there. You know?
Taylor, can you find that clip?
yeah.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
Oh,
that
I
one-
haven't heard it.
I don't think I know this one.
It's
Or
like
maybe
a
I do.
fundamentalist, like Louisiana, like old school pastor who's just kind of like walking up and down the aisles of the church, like the pews, and like
What is it called?
Hold on, I'm gonna find it while you talk. I think
and he just starts like calling people out. Like this young couple got engaged, hadn't been to church
I
enough
got it, I
lately.
got it. Chandler,
And like
it's coming your
brother
way.
Bob and your idiot, and, you know, like your issues.
That's how my youth pastor growing up was.
Yeah, and then he started talking about the young people in the sound booth.
I would rather have a pastor do a painful, at least an attempt at comedy with God's plan than someone who's like.
no, this guy's just got anger issues.
I'm dying to
Or
hear
is super
this.
insecure and just takes it out on other people.
I'll say this: the God's plan pastor is likely a Gillette man. You know, he's good natured. He tries to make people laugh with victimless comedy. This is the old school guy who encourages children to beat up other children to the amusement of the fathers at the barbecue.
That part was really interesting. All the dads. I thought that was very artistic. All the dads at the barbecue.
I'm assuming they're grilling vegan
Are
entrees.
y'all keeping the camera on me back there in the little video room? Good. We're having trouble in the video room. There's no one finer than young Cox back there. And he comes down here and spends hours in that thing. But he has a little attitude adjustment that we're going to fix. Brother Cox, you listening? Because, Brother Cox, I can fix your attitude adjustment. And I don't care what your mama thinks and your daddy thinks. And I don't have a better friend than your mama. But, Mama, you get out of my way when I'm messing with that boy, because I'm his preacher. I'm yours when I'm talking to you, but I'm his when I'm talking to him. And last I checked, he's a grown man. And that video room ain't going to be a youth hangout.
Pause it and turn up. Pause and turn up. We don't want to miss this.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Well, if you don't know what you're doing wrong, son, you don't care about what I want to do right. Because if you loved me and you submitted to me, you'd know what my heart is and my message is, and you wouldn't go about establishing your own kingdom in the video room.
There you go. Church.
Like, what makes you yell at the sound booth guy like that?
Because he's making the sound booth a youth hangout.
It's not
Annie.
a youth hangout, Annie. You don't love the pastor if you're making it a youth hangout in your own kingdom.
We just got a bumper pool room, a bumper pool table in the youth hall. And this is how you repay me by building the kingdom of Devon. The sound booth.
Oh man.
Where the youth hang.
You know what I would do?
That bumper pool table is going away.
I would just mute him. I would just mute him. You start calling me out.
That's what I wondered. I wondered if because he's really got all the power. You don't mess with Devin.
You don't,
Leave the sound guy alone.
When I get to a church, that's the first person I remember his name, because that guy has all the power.
That's why we're also nice to Chandler here.
Well, lastly, in case you missed it this week, Kanye West said he is working on some sort of church special.
Yeah.
So his wife, Kim Kardashian West, posted an Instagram story of something she called Sunday Service, which featured her husband rehearsing with what sure sounds like a gospel choir and frequent collaborator Kid Cudi. So together they covered some of Kanye's newer songs like Ghost Town from his latest album, a few Stone Cold classics like Heard 'Em Say, and even I'll Fly Away. Father Stretch My Hands and Reborn also appear in the clip. Kim pretty strongly implied that this won't be the last Sunday service, but it's unclear what the project is or how it'll be released. But here's a clip.
We got Kid Cudi making his own kingdom in the video booth.
It's not a youth hangout, Jesse.
I know Kanye's kind of a complicated person. More complicated even than he usually is right now. But of all the things he released last year, I thought that Kid Cudi project was the best one, that Kids See Ghosts things. And so from now on, as long as Kanye's working with Cudi, then I'm on board. And if it comes with I'll Fly Away.
I can get down with Chance, the stuff he does with Chance too.
And I guess that's supposedly there's one coming or about to release or something.
God's plan.
God's plan.
Talking about God's plan.
Jesus wants you to follow God's plan.
You can hear a point in the clip where he just kind of gets away from him, and I think he knows it, but he's too deep into it.
But that's when he grabs. That's when he grabs his knee and starts wiggling it.
Yeah. He's like, I'm losing him. I got to floss. I got to do something that resembles a dance.
It's the old pastor trick of whenever you start to lose the audience, double down.
Double down. That's exactly right.
That's on them for not paying enough attention
Did
to
he
you.
honestly, let's say he had like a very earnest, like thoughtful sermon about, recognizing God's plan for your life. He's like, I just don't think this is really going to make the impact in the lives of my congregation without one other thing. I've got it. This surely will help those wayward congregants struggling to find their calling in their life. This will do it, God. Thank you.
If I growl, God's plan.
Yeah. God, Drake, what you gonna say? Jesus Christ is here today. Oh, wilding out up there. Wilding out.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, that'll do it for in case you missed it. Stay tuned. Up next, Francis Chan joins us.
Downtown life's back, halfway up the street. I used to be free. I used to be 17. Follow my shadow around your corner. I used to be 17. Now you're just like me down.
You're listening to Sharon Van Etten. The song is 17. At the beginning of the podcast, you heard Symmel, SYML, with Clean Eyes. Well, this week's episode is brought to you by Church Home. On our phones, we can be connected to anyone, anywhere. But how do you actually find meaningful, positive connections and tune out all the negative noise? For me, it's with the new Church Home Global app. What we love about Church Home is that it's not about excluding people. It's about being together where everyone's welcome. The Church Home Global app allows you to connect with people all around the world, have honest discussions, and create meaningful relationships all from your phone. They have a great feature even every day called the Daily Spark, which is just a quick way to start your morning positively with inspiration from Judah and Chelsea Smith, Church Home's pastors. Join me today on the Church Home Global app. Download the free Church Home Global app available on the App Store or Google Play, or you can text Relevant to 555-888. That's Church Home, one word, CHURCHOME, Global, available on the App Store or Google Play, or by texting Relevant to 555-888. Well, Francis Chan is a former megachurch pastor, speaker, author, and is one of the faces of the new video teaching series from Right Now Media. In the series, Francis traveled to the Holy Land to walk in the steps of Jesus while teaching some of the deeper lessons of the book of Mark. We recently spoke with Francis about his journey to Israel and why taking a deeper look at the gospel is so essential. Here is Francis Chan.
I've been a Christian pretty much my whole life and, have spent a lot of time reading the Bible, but I don't really know a lot of the distinctions between the Gospels themselves. Tell me why the book of Mark stands out from the other Gospels to you and why it was something you wanted to teach through.
Well, I think because, like when I was back at Cornerstone, I had taught through Matthew and Luke and John, and I never preached through Mark. So honestly, that was intriguing to me. Some of it, wasn't a real spiritual thing. It was just for the sake of time. It was a shorter gospel that we could make it through. But there's something cool about taught through verse by verse through books of the Bible. There's something also that's beneficial when you can fly through something because at the flow of the book a little bit more easily. And that's what I liked about the series was, we only have a few hours. Let's fly through this book and you get something that I think you don't necessarily get when you go word for word over several years.
Having not, you mentioned when you're at Cornerstone, preaching through some of the other Gospels, what surprised you when you were doing this deep dive into the book of Mark?
Being in Israel changed everything because you could touch it. You can imagine, you see people walking around and you're looking at their life and going, gosh, he was literally standing here. Like, what would I have felt? Like being on the Mount of Olives and maybe standing there with Lazarus, who's been raised from the dead, and you're heading in, and here's Jesus, who has you've seen him walk on water, you know, and so chronologically we've gone through this, and I'm experiencing it on the boat. I'm experiencing the Mount of Transfiguration. Now I'm on the Mount of Olives, and everyone's going nuts because here's the most powerful being who's ever stepped foot on this earth right here, and you're about to walk into the city and take over, or so you think. And then suddenly you realize, oh my gosh, he's going to be tortured. And if I follow him, I'm going to be tortured. And you start to think, what would Francis Chan have done at that moment? Would I have followed him to the cross, or would I have backed off? And like, this is real Christianity. This is as real as it gets. And you just realize, wow, what kind of message have we been preaching, you know, here in America? Has it been the true gospel? And is my mind warped just because of the world that I live in? And how can I escape from it? So I don't think it was a difference in teaching Luke or teaching Mark. It was more just the context of being in Israel and teaching one of the gospels.
It's interesting, you know, kind of that juxtaposition of teaching it there versus, you know, from a pulpit here. You know, a lot of American Christians, their interactions with these books are in like an air-conditioned, you know, well-furnished church building in a country where they are the majority. But, you know, what's striking is watching some of these videos is how little has seemed to change. And just, I wonder if you could talk about putting yourself into that context of not just, the time frame and the setting that Jesus was, but also the context of, you know, Israel, the Israelites and the people that were following, the Jews that were following Jesus, you know, they were under persecution. They were a minority.
Yeah.
How did that context help kind of shape the teaching?
Yeah, I mean, anyone who's been to Israel knows, like, it's just like a very volatile situation. You know, you've got people with machine guns everywhere. You've got, you know, right there, like, war going on incessantly. And so it's right in your face, and you realize, gosh, I live in such a safe place. I just don't, the Bible doesn't come alive like you said when you're sitting in an air-conditioned building, like it does when you realize, wow, the same conflicts are still going on in this very city right here. I can see it. I can feel the tension, and it's really not that different. You have very religious people there that are all dressed up, you know, in their religious garb, and you can just picture Jesus, like what he would do in that type of setting. But it's kind of like, you know, you read all this stuff in the Old Testament about all these idols, but in America, you know, unless you're going into a Thai restaurant or something, you don't see idols. But you go to India, and you're like, whoa, again, the Bible comes alive, because it's like everyone worships an idol. And you realize, okay, now some of those passages are coming to life. And I feel like the same thing happened for me in Israel, where there was just something about seeing the conflict right in your face that makes you go, okay, now I see what Jesus was dealing with. Now I see what the early believers were dealing with, to a lesser degree, but at least some part of it.
I want to ask you something about, you know, kind of the content of the teaching too, because one of the themes that kind of run throughout is the idea of holiness. Obviously, you're in these places that have this reverence and holiness, but it's also sort of a theme of the teachings. And so that's kind of a difficult idea for like modern Christians to comprehend, because Jesus seemed a lot of places in the Bible so normal, so human. Why is it important for us to have a proper understanding of Jesus's holiness?
In so many ways, like, that's the crux of Scripture. I mean, we have a God who is like no other. Like, we have to stop, putting things even close to where he is. That's the whole idea of holy, holy, holy. He is set apart. He's sacred. And we live in a very man-centered world where we just feel like our opinions should matter, our feelings should matter. And it's like, no, God alone matters. Like, he's on another level than all your feelings, all your preferences, all your desires, all your opinions. Like, he's got to be way up there. That he is not like us. Our Creator is so far beyond us. Yes, we're made in his image, but the whole point of life is, man, I am inferior to him, and I should gladly come under his leadership. The whole original sin is man trying to be, I want to eat of the tree of good and evil. I want to, in my opinion, I want to know what's right or wrong. I don't want God to just tell me what's right and wrong. This is all about understanding that our God is to be far, far above us. And so that theme is not just the book of Mark. It's Scripture. It's the whole of Scripture.
That was Francis Chan. Make sure to check out his new video series on the Gospel of Mark. It's at rightnowmedia.org.
I've been in game for a long time. 16 hours, that's a long flight. You're robbing me rough on the wrong guy. She dated me at the wrong time. Yeah, hold up. 16 hours, that's a long flight. You're robbing me rough on the wrong guy. She dated me at the wrong time.
At Lifesong for Orphans, we believe the church is the solution to caring for orphans. Through holistic, Christ-centered education and care to vulnerable children in developing countries, as well as adoption financial assistance to Christian families in the U.S., Lifesong invites you to join in living out God's call to care for orphans. Lifesong serves adopted families and churches at zero cost, and 100% of the donations go directly to helping children in need. You are called to serve orphans. We can help. Find out how at lifesong.org/relevant.
I can't get enough. Yeah, don't tell my mom.
You're listening to Higher Brothers. Song is 16 hours. Okay, it's time for your feedback. Last week, we got talking about celebrity encounters because Annie was on a plane with Shaq.
I was.
And just talking about how, it changed her life, frankly.
It did. I will never forget it.
And so we want to know your best, worst, most unforgettable celebrity encounter. You guys hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, and you posted on the podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com. Here's a few of our favorites.
I like this one. It's ironically, Cameron and I were literally having a conversation about Matthew McConaughey's tendency to just randomly show up to practices at the University of Texas.
Yeah, the football program.
Yeah.
I was watching ESPN last night while I was debating idiots on the internet, and I don't watch ESPN all that much. And it was like Matthew McConaughey is coming on later. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then they were showing all these pictures of him like giving halftime speeches to the University of Texas football team and hanging out and like coaching guys up on the sideline and junk. And I'm like, he's just a random fan. Like he's not a football savant. He's not an expert. I'm thinking, this coach is fairly new. This coach has only been there like a year.
Yeah.
It's like he inherited Matthew McConaughey.
I think he's sneaking in.
McConaughey is like comes with the program.
Yeah.
And like you just have to put up with it if you're the coach.
Because I've seen the same video.
He's part of the recruiting package. It's part of the deal. If you go to Texas, you're going to get to meet Matthew McConaughey every weekend.
So, but either way, we have feedback here from Patrick Marsh, who's not only is a UT alumni, he's alumnus. He was on the college baseball team there at the University of Texas. Guess who randomly came to practice one day?
Well, Matthew McConaughey.
McConaughey.
Yeah.
To the baseball team.
He hung out. Yeah. He shows up to baseball practice. He hung out and just watched for a while. Then he decided that he would join the team for wind sprints at the end of practice. So Matthew McConaughey is sitting there in the bleachers watching baseball practice. When it's time for the wind sprints, the conditioning at the end, he runs down to the field and decides to join the team. However, He only ran a few and then called it good. He also confirmed Matthew McConaughey does not wear deodorant. So
my thing is like, why do you think the school tells all the ushers and coaches and personnel that work in the athletic department, just let him do what he's going to do?
Do you think that's what the Orlando Magic people say about you, Cameron?
I thought that until Jose, the security guard, came over and told me to chill.
Yeah, we thought we had an agreement.
Orders
here.
from on high.
Yeah,
apparently
we thought we had an agreement.
I like this one a lot from Cal Bussman.
You said that with such disdain. Cal Bussman.
Right.
Like,
it's a fun name. I like it. He's a bus man. Cal Bussman.
The bus man.
Out of college was working at First Baptist Church in Tallahassee. Says that when he was in his church's family life center, this is what I like about the celebrity story, is you need to be in the least likely place to see a celebrity. You need to be like in a mundane, non-celebrity environment, like the First Baptist Church in Tallahassee. And your churches, I don't know what a family life center is, I guess. In my mind, I'm seeing kind of like I
had one in my church growing up. It's a fellowship hall. Ours had a stage for when the choir did performances or the basketball.
And basketball.
Carpeted,
that makes sense.
basketball. Challenging.
Okay, sure. I don't know much about basketball. It seems like that'd kind of throw a wrench in proceedings, but sure. So Cal's just living his life, working at his job in the Family Life Center, and in walks Prince and his entourage.
What?
So right there, we go to the Chappelle skit. Where Prince and everybody walks in.
It's one of the best, literally one of the best moments of television in the last 15 years.
Charlie Murphy recounting his stories of hanging out with.
It's almost as famous as like Prince himself is that bit of Prince and what it's like. So Prince and his entourage walk in.
Wait, he's in Tallahassee at his church's fellowship hall, and Prince walks in.
Prince was like pretty famously like got super Christian in his later, like had a real strong spiritual bent to him. He was playing Tallahassee, had some time to kill before the show. And so he went not where you or I would go if we had some time to kill before we had an event out of town. No. He went to the First Baptist Church in Tallahassee, and there were amenities there, and he came looking to shoot some pool. Another famous Prince fact is that he really liked like games, like he loved basketball. Obviously, he loved playing, he loved ping pong. He was a big fan of ping pong.
Why would you go to a Baptist church looking to shoot pool? Just go to a pool hall.
Why not?
Google
go to a pool
hall.
Yeah, because
I don't know.
People like Devin build their own kingdoms in the fellowship hall. He knew he had some games. It's a youth hangout. Maybe he knew
that was like the least likely place he'd be found.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. If you didn't want to hang out with get mobbed by celebrities or as a celebrity, then you just go knock on the door of a church.
If I recall correctly, I'm piecing it together. He was a Jehovah's Witness at the end. So
I think Jehovah's Witness is correct.
That's right. So why not go to Jehovah's Witness?
Maybe they don't have the good
Maybe Devin doesn't build the youth room there.
They don't got pool over there. So anyway, Cal says I got to show him around and then shoot pool with Prince for a while. I got to shoot pool with him. Can't tell you who won, which probably meant that he did because I think I would remember if I'd beaten Prince.
For sure.
Then we just chatted about football. He wore purple because he was a Vikings fan. He was the purple one. And so is my dad because he was born in Minnesota. We talked about Vikings. That was the extent of it. Sounds like he just had a day at the job with Prince.
I like to think that Cal's not really into sports, so they talked about literal Vikings.
Yeah. Listen, Prince, are you into Viking lore?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Minnesota. They see Vikings up there sometimes. I get that.
Is everyone up here Norwegian? I have a great one from Brianna. You can never know with this name. But she and her sisters were in New York City, and they were just walking down the street, and there was a big metal door with a bunch of people gathered outside of it, which this is a hot tip. Everyone should stop when that happens in New York because it does mean something famous is going down. And so the door opened and the security guard and a tall guy walked out and the group surrounded the guy and started taking his picture and they realized it was Hugh Jackman. And so she's trying to get her phone out of the car and her sister looks at her and is like, shut up, like that. And as Hugh Jackman is getting in the car, he turns around and said, no, you shut up, which I think is awesome that he heard her. So I love that.
It's nice that he was self-aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he kind of made fun of the sister, which I kind of like that about Hugh
He
Jackman.
seems like a nice guy.
He seems very charming. He always seems like a very winsome. He has a very winsome personality.
And he's a good Christian man. You know, he's a strong Christian out
Is
there
he?
in Australia. Yeah, he does a
didn't
lot
know
of work with World Vision Australia.
His father was a tent revivalist.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And he's
Hugh
been
Jackman's
married
father.
since before he was before he was an actor. He's been married to the same person
Yeah.
like the
Seems like a good dude.
whole entire time.
He's a good man.
Love that. Good on him.
And he talks to people. Look at that. I once saw in New York, talking about getting into a car. In New York, you see celebrities getting into cars because they shuffle out of the
The
building
one
really
time-
quick.
Yeah.
And
One
you'll
time
see.
in public.
I once saw Regis Philbin getting into a car.
Did
You
you?
did.
That's
Did he
kind of
say
cool.
anything?
I just said the Reg. And
what he said?
Nothing. He didn't acknowledge. He didn't
You
acknowledge.
said
me.
the reach.
You blurt. You just blurt. You don't know. You don't like
Right.
premeditate. It's like, what are you gonna do? You come around the corner and there's Regis Philbin. You go.
Cameron, I remember being at a movie with you in New York City, and we sat one row in front of, I think it was Rudy Giuliani and Jodie Foster.
Yeah,
Is that
sitting
right?
side by side. Jodie Foster and
They
Rudy
were just
Giuliani.
they were sitting together at the same movie.
It's the
when we were
weirdest
at?
thing.
That is weird.
That was a
Wait,
very weird,
really?
random pairing. Yeah.
They were just seeing a movie?
Well, no, we were at a screen, like
It was a screening.
invite
It was
only
an early
screening.
screening.
I thought y'all just like went
But
to
it's
the
still,
movies.
but it was like, why are they together?
Yeah,
And how do
exactly.
they know each other? Because they were
Yeah.
clearly like they're not like on a date, but like they were
like
there together.
pals.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Like they're just hanging out. Jodie Foster and Rudy Giuliani.
Lizzie Rice had a good one of one time this is to your story of, just finding the right thing to shout.
Right,
Right. Lizzie is in Spain one night eating gelato. And guess who walks towards her? The one and only Ty Pennington.
Oh,
Extreme
yes.
moment.
I love
Bus.
Ty Pennington.
Move that
Wait
bus.
for it.
Okay.
I was so starstruck as he passed that the only thing I could yell was move that bus.
Yeah, of course.
He waved
Oh, my gosh.
and walked on. True story. What else you got to yell, though?
Bus?
He hears that every day of his life.
He didn't
100%.
acknowledge. He didn't give her anything.
No,
I
he
hate
waved
that.
and
No.
just kept going.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, that'll do it for you. That y'all's feedback. There's a lot. Go check it out. And it's time for this week's
Editorial question of the week. Hey.
I mean, sometimes we have to go off mic for a few minutes and try and come up with a compelling conversation starting question of the week. And sometimes manna falls from heaven.
Sometimes it's given to us. That's exactly
It's
right.
right there.
Earlier on the show, we brought you some pretty cringy pastor moments and got us thinking, we want to know your most cringy pastor moments. Maybe it was revival. Maybe it was a guest speaker. Maybe you saw your pastor try to jump a hurdle because of the power of God and then fall flat on his back. Or
brutal.
rap. Hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast. Or you can post your longer stories, which I'm sure there are many, on the podcast episode page at irrelevantmagazine.com. And let us know your most memorable, cringy pastor moments.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, if you were just hanging out in the sound booth and the pastor started calling you out by name in the middle of the sermon.
That's who we need to get as listener of the week. Get that guy.
Get Devin.
The Devin or the pastor?
No.
Devin,
That
for
pastor
sure,
scares me,
Devin.
man.
Yeah, I would be terrified, and he'd probably make me cry. And he sounds
very-
not like a Gillette man. He
I was about to
sounds
say,
like a
that's
big,
not a
big
Gillette
mean
man.
bully. He's a big mean bully. he's pure toxic masculinity. Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, many thanks to Francis Chan for joining us today. Remember, you can go check out his new series on the Gospel of Mark, the Bible teachings from the Holy Land. It's available now at rightnowmedia.org/Mark. Go check him out. I like him a lot. He's a great teacher.
Yeah.
And thanks to Church Home for making the episode possible. You can join us today on the Church Home Global app by downloading the free app at the App Store or Google Play, or by texting RELEVANT to 555-888. If you're searching for it, it's Church Home, one word, CHURCHOME. Well, this is where I give a little updates, a little behind the scenes stuff, so people know. We were playing with video during this whole recording.
Yeah, this is a big successful test.
You guys
test.
look great.
So,
you guys look really good.
Everyone has a great angle.
No, we don't.
barring
I'm very
any
proud of
unforeseen, situations, next week you guys can start looking for video highlights from
That's
the
right.
episodes, and then a few weeks later, big change, big news.
Let's not reveal quite
No.
yet. Let's play this
something
on
else is
close
coming.
chest.
This is like the appetizer before the entree. The video highlights. It's just little apps, little.
That's right.
I mean, it's more like the menu because they're not really getting to see anything yet.
No. Next week they'll start to see video highlights.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm with you now.
That's the appetizers, what I'm saying.
That is the.
Don't fill up on the highlights.
That's
Is all
the
I'm
slider.
saying. Yeah.
That's the.
Oh, the slider. Well done.
That's the slider.
The
That's
little baby burger.
It's not. It's a 2-bite burger. Is what I call it. Or
Baby
if you're really
burger.
motivated, it's any anything can be a 1-bite burger if you really try it.
But coming the beginning of February, big changes to the show.
Yeah.
Really excited. Hey, Jesse, it's fun having you in the studio.
This is always a great time.
Thanks for getting the Magic 2 good wins this weekend.
When it gets to be crunch time at the end of the season, I'll be happy to come down and get a couple more W's for the team. So I do everything that I can.
Appreciate it.
Hey, I'll come down to the studio for the next one, Cameron.
That's right.
That's
you
right.
will be here. We're just rotating.
For Tuesday's show.
Yep, on Tuesday's show, Annie will be
Going live. That
live
means
in the studio.
Tyler, you got to book a flight. You're next.
I'm on Expedia right now. I got to get in on this.
I am on Greyhound.com. I will be there in a week.
All right. On that note, we'll wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Chandler Strang.
I'm Tyler Huckabee.
And I'm Annie F. Downs.
We will see you on Tuesday. Have a good weekend, everyone.
I hold back, sometimes I won't. Yeah. I feel good, sometimes I don't. Hey, no. I finesse down Western Road. Hey, next. Might go down to G.O.D. Yeah, wait. I go hard on Southside G. Yeah, wait. I make sure that Northside E. And still.
Thank you for listening to the Relevant Podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to leave us a review on iTunes. Check out other shows from the Relevant Podcast Network in the podcast section at relevantmagazine.com. And while you're there, browse exclusive podcast merchandise at our online store. Make sure to subscribe to Relevant Magazine. Info is available at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
Hey. She say, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mom. I'm sorry. 50 dub, I even got it tatted on me. 81, they'll bring the crashers to the party. And you know me, turn the 02 into the 03, dog. Without 40 Ollie, there be no me. Imagine if I never met the bro.
We just got a bumping pool room, a bumping pool table in the youth hall. And this is how you repay me, by building the kingdom of Devon.
Relevant Podcast Network.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care. Go to Dutch.com to get vet care that is always there for just $92 a year.